There is almost no one here. The cruise ships are gone, the temperature has dropped, and a massive chunk of the island has literally just rolled down the shutters and closed for the winter. So, why is this world famous island practically a ghost town right now? And more importantly, as budget backpackers, why did we decide to come here when half the things to do are closed? Did we make a huge mistake or did we just figure out the ultimate cheat code for traveling Greece? Welcome to Fullstack Nomads, where we explore cultures and places in Europe. Let me show you what it's actually like. Our journey actually started at the Athens airport. We decided to fly with Sky Express to get to the island. You can definitely take a ferry, but it takes a really long time, so we opted for a quick flight instead. The tickets were honestly a bit expensive, which was surprising since it's the off peak season. But I think if you have flexible dates and just monitor the prices, you can definitely buy them for a lot less than we did. Once we landed, we had to figure out how to get to town. And if you were taking the public bus from the airport, here is a major tip. You can't actually buy tickets online. The whole system is still completely manual. So you have to make sure you have coins or small notes on you for the tickets every single time you ride. The price can range from 1.8 to 3 euros per ride. We couldn't even find a proper website to buy them or check routes. We just found this random PDF online with the bus schedules. I'll put that down in the description for you guys. We were honestly really confused, but after waiting at the stop for about half an hour, a bus finally showed up and took us straight into Fira.
Well, I saddled up my shoes, headed out at dawn. Yeah, I saddled up my shoes, headed out at dawn. Ain't no place gonna hold me when the road keep rolling on. Left my baby crying, said you can't live that way. Left my baby crying, said you can't live that way. I told her love ain't chained down, it just comes and drifts away.
Since we are traveling on a backpacker budget, we had to be really strategic about where we stayed. We ended up booking this Airbnb right near the McDonald's in Fira, which cost us 68 euros for 2 nights. Honestly, as far as budget stays go, the room was actually really big and surprisingly cozy. We had plenty of space to unpack our clothes. There's one catch though, we didn't have a stove. The kitchen setup was basically just a microwave, some plates, spoons, and a few glasses. The bathroom was huge too, and it had this random wooden ladder in it. I'm guessing it was meant to be a towel rack or something, but it ended up being our designated clothes hanger for the whole trip. I will also put the link of this Airbnb in the description. But despite the whole kitchen situation, staying in Fira was probably the smartest decision we made for this trip. Fira itself is an insane place to walk around. If you don't know much about the history here, the whole town is basically hanging onto the edge of a massive volcanic crater about 400 meters above the sea. A huge earthquake in 1956 actually destroyed a lot of the buildings here. So a lot of what you see now had to be rebuilt. But they kept that classic Cycladic style. The bright white walls, the smooth curves, the blue accents. Walking through these alleys when they are this empty feels totally surreal. It's just us, the locals going about their day, and a whole lot of stray cats. since we usually try to cook our own meals to save money, having no stove meant we had to buy food out almost every time we ate. And in a place like Santorini, that budget can disappear pretty fast if you aren't careful. If you are coming to Santorini, especially in the off season, and you are relying on public transport, Fira is exactly where you wanna be. It is the absolute heart of the island. The main bus terminal is located right here, which means literally every single bus route starts and ends in Fira. If you want to go to Oia, the beaches and the port or the airport, you have to catch the bus from Fira anyway. Staying here meant we didn't have to waste time or money on extra transfers. The next morning, we walked down to the bus station and caught a ride up to Oia. When people think of Santorini, this is the spot they're picturing. It's the town with the famous blue domes that you see on literally every postcard and travel blog. During the summer, walking through Oia is basically a contact sport. People wait in line for hours in the brutal heat just to stand in one spot for a photo. But walking through it today, it was completely silent. We didn't have to wait for anything. We could just wander down these random tiny staircases, sit on the walls, and actually look at the view instead of looking at the backs of people's heads. It's crazy to think about how different this exact spot looks in July compared to right now. Yeah, a lot of the high-end boutiques and fancy restaurants with the cliffside views were closed, but we didn't come here to go to shopping anyway. We wanted to see what the coast looked like without the crowd, so in the afternoon we headed down to the Red Beach. Normally, this beach is absolutely covered in sunbeds and umbrellas. You can barely see the sand, but coming here in the off-season, you get to see how wild this island actually is. It's definitely windy, and you are absolutely not coming here to go for a swim right now. But standing down here, looking at the contrast of the dark red volcanic rock against the blue water with literally no one else around, it felt like we were on a completely different planet. During peak season, getting here is simple. You can just catch a boat from the Black Beach that drops you right at the Red Beach. But since the boats stopped running in the winter, our only option was to hike down the cliffs ourselves. Honestly, the trail was in pretty rough shape, and I really wouldn't recommend anyone try it. It wasn't until we were leaving that we finally noticed a massive warning sign at the entrance reading danger of injury and death. We somehow completely missed it when we first arrived. Looking back, we are just incredibly relieved that we made it through without a scratch. So back to the questions from the start. Why is Santorini empty? Because the heat is gone, the beach clubs are closed, and the summer party crowd has moved on. But why did we come anyway? Honestly, because having one of the most famous, heavily touristed places on earth entirely to ourselves felt like a luxury that you just can't buy. We didn't have a kitchen. We had to eat microwave meals, and we had to wear a few extra layers of clothes. But we also got to experience the actual soul of this island. We got quiet mornings, empty alleys, and private sunsets. If you just want to party and lay on a hot beach, then yeah, coming here right now would be a massive mistake. But if you actually care about the landscape, the architecture, and just experiencing place without the chaos, I think this might be the absolute best time to come. What do you guys think? Would you rather deal with the massive crowds to get the hot summer weather, or would you take the empty streets and the colder wind like we did? Let me know down in the comments. And while you were down there, let me know which country you'd like us to cover next. We've already made videos exploring Spain, the Netherlands, Belgium, Finland, and France. So I will link all of those in the description if you want to check them out. and stay tuned for the next episode of our Greece travel series. If you found this video helpful or just enjoyed exploring an empty Santorini with us, I've also left a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. Any support means the world to us and really helps us keep these trips going. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for the next adventure. See you guys next time.